Be me, Elias Thorne, 29. PhD in Educational Leadership from Columbia. Thesis on dismantling the carceral classroom, restorative justice in post-industrial communities. Never actually taught a day in a K-12 classroom. Doesn't matter. Teaching is tactical, ideal in strategy. Landed a massive grant-funded position as the Director of Climate and Culture at Northwood High. Rust Belt town, 3 hours from the nearest Whole Foods. Town used to make steel, now it makes opioids and depression. School district is hemorrhaging teachers and money. Superintendent hired me to disrupt the pipeline to prison and reimagine discipline. Salary is double what the veteran teachers make. I roll up in my Tesla Model 3, parking next to rusted F-150s and 2008 Civics. This is the front line. This is where I save the world. First week is observation. The school smells like floor wax and despair. Fluorescent lights buzzing like trapped insects. Walk into the teachers' lounge. Silence falls instantly. It's the old guard. Men with coffee stains on their ties. Women who have seen 3 generations of the same dysfunctional families pass through their classrooms. They look at me like I'm a health inspector in a hot dog factory. Introduce myself. Hi everyone, I'm Elias. I'm here to help us transition away from punitive measures toward a holistic, restorative framework. Room is so quiet you can hear the vending machine hum. Guy in the corner stands up. Frank Kowalski, auto shop teacher. 60s, hands permanently stained with grease, missing half a pinky finger. Legend has it he once stared down a kid holding a knife until the kid apologized. So, no more suspension? He asks, voice like gravel in a blender. Suspension is exclusionary, I explain, using my best workshop voice. It severs the community bond. We need to heal the harm, not reject the student. Kowalski grunts. Right, healing, got it. He walks out. I mark him down as a key resistor in my mental notes. Resistance is just fear leaving the body. I can fix him. Month 1. I unveil the peace room. Converted an old storage classroom. Beanbag chairs, soft lighting, fidget spinners, posters asking, "How does this make you feel?" Policy change. Teachers can no longer send students to the principal for minor infractions. Talking back, refusing work, sleeping, swearing, minor vandalism. All handled via restorative circles. I lead the first few to demonstrate. Kid named Jax is sent in. Jax is 16, wears hoodies in July, eyes dead as a shark. Caught vaping in the library and calling the librarian a dusty bitch. I sit him down on a beanbag. Jax, talk to me. What was happening for you when you chose those words? Jax looks at the beanbag, looks at me. I was stressin', bro. My mom's trippin'. I hear that, I say, nodding empathetically. So the vape was a coping mechanism? Yeah, exactly, coping. He's smirking. I see it, but I ignore it. He's engaging. That's the first step. How do you think Mrs. Higgins felt when you used that language? Probably bad, I guess. Would you be willing to write a reflection statement? Sure. He scribbles, "Sorry I vaped," on a post-it note. I give him a granola bar and send him back to class. Success. Recidivism avoided. Dignity intact. Month 2. The peace room is booming. Actually, it's overflowing. Teachers are sending kids down in droves. But the vibe is off. Walk past the math wing. See a kid standing on a desk throwing paper airplanes. Teacher, Mrs. Gable, is just sitting at her desk, staring at her computer. I enter. Mrs. Gable, why isn't this student being redirected? She doesn't look up. I asked him to sit, he said. Restorative D's nuts. I figured that was a cry for help, so I'm waiting for you to come heal the harm. Sarcasm. Toxic workplace culture. I approach the kid. Hey, let's step into the hall. Kid looks at me. You got those Cliff Bars in your office today? The chocolate chip ones? They treat the peace room like a VIP lounge. I call an emergency staff meeting. PowerPoint time. Slide 1. Behavior is communication. Slide 2. De-escalation through validation. I lecture them for 45 minutes about how their rigid expectations are triggering trauma responses. When you demand silence, you are enforcing a colonialist standard of compliance, I say. Kowalski is in the back, cleaning his fingernails with a pocket knife. He raises a hand. So if a kid throws a wrench at my head, that's just communication? Did he hit you? No, I ducked. Then we examine why he felt the need to throw it. We don't criminalize the impulse. Kowalski stands up. Slowly. I'm teaching them how to weld, son. If they don't have discipline, they catch on fire. Physics doesn't give a damn about colonialist standards. We're not talking about physics, Frank. We're talking about human beings. I'm talking about survival, he says, and leaves. 5 other teachers follow him. I feel the heat rising in my neck. They don't get it. They're dinosaurs. I'll prove them wrong with data. Month 3. Discipline referrals are down 90% because I deleted the referral form from the intranet. Replaced it with a request for restoration Google form. Requires a 500-word essay from the teacher on what they did to trigger the behavior before they can submit. Oddly, teachers stopped submitting forms. Data looks amazing. Superintendent gives me a commendation. Northwood is a model of progressive reform, the email says. Meanwhile, the hallways are chaos. Kids vaping openly. Fights breaking out that end in handshakes mediated by me, followed by them fighting again at lunch. But the silence from the staff is what bothers me. They've stopped arguing. They've stopped asking questions. They just smile, a tight, dead smile. Malicious compliance initiated. The incident. November. Cold and gray. I'm in my office, peace room, ordering more fidget toys on Amazon. Radio crackles. Mr. Thorne to the auto shop. Immediately. Voice is the assistant principal. She sounds shaky. I grab my clipboard and restorative script cards. Jog down to the vocational wing. Smell of gasoline and burning rubber. Enter the shop. It's a standoff. Jax is there. My star pupil of the peace room. He's holding a crowbar. Kowalski is standing 5 feet away, holding nothing. Rest of the class is pressed against the back wall, terrified. Jax is screaming, "You can't touch me! I know my rights!" Elias said, "I don't gotta take your disrespect." Kowalski is calm, terrifyingly calm. I step in. Whoa, lower the volume, let's co-regulate. Jax sees me. "Tell him, Elias, he tried to take my phone." I turn to Kowalski. "Frank, did you attempt to confiscate personal property?" "He was texting while operating the hydraulic lift," Kowalski says, voice flat, almost crushed a kid's hand. "He's lying," Jax yells, swinging the crowbar. "I was checking the time." I put up a hand. "Frank, we discussed this. Phones are a battle we don't pick. It escalates the conflict." Kowalski looks at me. Eyes like cold steel. He endangered a life. "Did anyone get hurt?" I ask. "No." "Then let's not deal in hypotheticals." "Jax, put the crowbar down. Let's go to my office and process this anger." Jax grins. A wolfish, predatory grin. He drops the crowbar. Clang. "Yeah. Let's go process." He walks past Kowalski and shoulder checks him hard. Kowalski doesn't move, doesn't flinch, just watches me. "You're making a mistake," Kowalski says softly. I'm de-escalating. I snap. I take Jax to the office. Give him a soda. Talk about his feelings regarding authority figures. He tells me Kowalski hates him. I believe him. Kowalski is a relic. I send Jax back to 4th period with a pass. I write an email to the principal recommending Kowalski for cultural competency training. The shift. Next day, walk into the building. It's quiet. Too quiet. Go to the main office. Secretary hands me a stack of papers. What's this? Transfer requests. For Jax. Every single teacher has requested Jax be transferred out of their class. Citing safety concerns. Union representative is involved. I storm down to the teachers' lounge. It's full. They're eating donuts. They stop talking when I enter. You can't just blacklist a student, I announce. That is the definition of exclusionary practice. Mrs. Gable wipes powdered sugar from her lip. We aren't excluding him, she says sweetly. We're just acknowledging that we lack the restorative capacity to handle his energy. We think he needs to be with an expert. Meaning? Meaning he's yours, Elias, all day, independent study. I'm an administrator. I don't have a teaching roster. You have a doctorate, Kowalski says from the back. Surely you can handle one misunderstood youth. The room nods in unison. It's a trap. But my ego won't let me back down. Fine, if you all refuse to do your jobs, I'll show you how it's done. Jax will be in the peace room for the next week. We'll do intensive mentorship. Good luck, Kowalski says. He doesn't sound sarcastic. He sounds like a priest giving last rites. The week of hell. Day 1 with Jax. He shows up 40 minutes late. Smells like weed. What up, E-Dog? It's Dr. Thorne, and we need to set norms. Norm D's nuts. He puts his feet on my desk and starts watching TikToks at full volume. I try to engage him in a dialogue about future goals. He asks me if I've ever killed anyone. I say no. He calls me a pussy. Day 2. Jax brings 2 friends. They aren't even students here. They walked right in the side door. I tell them to leave. Jax stands up. They're my support system. You said I need community. I'm paralyzed by my own rhetoric. They spend 3 hours eating my stash of granola bars and drawing anatomical diagrams on the whiteboard. I try to call security. Security is a 70-year-old man named Earl. Earl looks in the window, sees 3 teenagers, shakes his head, and keeps walking. I am alone. Day 3. I decide to get tough. Jax, if you don't complete this worksheet on empathy, no pizza for lunch. He looks at me. Really looks at me. You ain't gonna do shit. He's right. I have no leverage. I stripped away all the leverage. I try to block the door. He pushes me. Not hard, but enough. Don't touch me, he says. I freeze. My heart is hammering. This is the trauma response I lecture about. But it's happening to me. He walks out, wanders the halls. I hear glass breaking 10 minutes later. I hide in my office and update my LinkedIn profile. The climax. Friday. Superintendent is visiting. Showcase day. She wants to see the Miracle of Northwood. I put on my best suit. I need Jax to be on his best behavior. I bribe him, literally. I give him $20 and tell him to just sit there and nod when the lady comes in. Bet, he says. Superintendent arrives, Dr. Holloway. She's beaming. Elias, the reports are glowing. 0 suspensions. Yes, ma'am. We're changing the paradigm. We walk the halls. It's weirdly orderly. The teachers have locked their doors. They are running a tight ship. They are hiding the chaos. We get to the peace room. Jax is there, sitting on the beanbag. He looks like an angel. Dr. Holloway smiles. And this is a student engaging in restoration? Yes, this is Jax. We've been working on emotional regulation. Jax stands up. He looks at Dr. Holloway. He looks at me. He smiles. Dr. Holloway, can I speak my truth? Of course, young man, she says, delighted. Mr. Thorne buys me weed. Silence. Absolute, ringing silence. My blood turns to ice. Excuse me, Holloway asks, smile faltering. Yeah. He gives me $20 and tells me to go chill. He says it's harm reduction. He pulls out the crisp $20 bill I just gave him. He just gave me this to not tell you about the fire. The fire? Fire alarm goes off. Right on cue. The strobe lights start flashing. Holloway looks at me. Her eyes are wide. I look at Jax. He winks. We evacuate. Out on the front lawn, the whole school is gathered. Smoke is pouring out of the boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor. Trash can fire. Classic. But it's big. Fire trucks are screaming in. I'm standing next to Holloway. She isn't looking at the fire. She's looking at me. Elias, did you give a student money? It was a behavioral incentive, a token economy. Did you buy him drugs? No, he's lying. It's a fabrication designed to challenge authority. Kowalski walks up. He's holding his roll call sheet. Calm as a frozen lake. Everyone accounted for in auto shop, he reports to the principal. He looks at me. Looks at Holloway. Everything okay here? He asks. Innocent. Mr. Thorne was just explaining his methodologies. Holloway says, voice like liquid nitrogen. Kowalski nods. Ah, the holistic approach. Very effective. He pats me on the shoulder. With his grease-stained hand, leaves a black smudge on my beige blazer. Good luck with the restoration, son. The aftermath. Monday morning. I am placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. The union had been documenting everything. Every time I refused to suspend a kid. Every time I forced a teacher to apologize to a student who cursed them out. Every safety violation in the shop class that I waived. They have a binder 3 inches thick. Title, The Thorne Report. They weaponized my own paperwork against me. I sit in my apartment, surrounded by unpacked boxes of books on educational theory. My phone buzzes. Email from the district. Contract terminated. Restructuring of the department. They're paying me out for the year just to go away. I should be angry, but I'm just tired. I drive to the school one last time to collect my personal effects. It's 3:30 p.m. Dismissal. I sneak in the side door. Empty my piece room. Take the beanbags, the posters, the fidget spinners. Walk out to the parking lot. See the auto shop bay doors open. Kowalski is there. He's with Jax. And 3 other problem kids. They're working on an old Chevy. Jax is under the hood. Kowalski is leaning over, pointing at something. Tighten it until it seats, then a quarter turn. Don't strip it, or you're walking home. Yes, sir, Jax says. Sir. Jax is wearing safety glasses. He looks focused, calm. He looks restored. I watch for a minute. Kowalski hands Jax a wrench. Jax takes it with respect. They aren't talking about feelings. They aren't unpacking trauma. They are fixing a carburetor. Kowalski looks up, sees me holding my box of beanbags. He doesn't smile. He doesn't gloat. He just nods once. A dismissal. And turns back to the engine. All right, listen up. If you mix the fuel lines, this thing explodes. Pay attention. The kids lean in closer. They want to learn how not to explode. I get in my Tesla. Drive away. Past the Welcome to Northwood sign. Realize I was never the teacher. I was the lesson. Go to a bar in the next town over. Order a whiskey. Bartender asks how my day was. I learned a lot about physics, I say. Yeah? Yeah. Pressure builds up if you don't have a release valve, and some things you can't talk your way out of. Drink the whiskey. Delete my thesis from my laptop. Open a tab for job listings. Consulting firms. HR remote work. Far away from teenagers. Far away from Greece. Far away from the truth. Silence is nice. But the engine hum of that Chevy sticks in my head. Running smooth. Running real.